हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा डियर डिवोटीज, आप सबको छोटी दिवाली की शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत बधाइयाँ। और आज नरक चौदस की तरह भी मनाया जाता है इसको, छोटी दिवाली को, क्योंकि ये चतुर्दशी, द 14th डे ऑफ विनिंग मून है, जो हमारा कृष्ण पक्ष चल रहा है उसमें। और एक कॉमन धारणा होती है इस समय कि अगर आप सूर्योदय से पहले स्नान करेंगे तो आपको नरक नहीं देखना पड़ेगा। एक्चुअली एज पर द स्क्रिप्चर्स, अगर आप सूर्योदय से पहले ध्यान करेंगे तो आपको नरक नहीं देखना पड़ेगा। और इससे इंटरेस्टिंग बात है, आपको स्वर्ग भी नहीं देखना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि फिर आप वैकुंठवासी बनते हैं। तो जब आप सूर्योदय से पहले रोज ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में अपने 16 राउंड्स चैंट करेंगे, रेगुलेटिव प्रिंसिपल्स फॉलो करेंगे, तो आपको अपने आप लिबरेशन मिलता है भगवान की कृपा से। ऑफ कोर्स दैट इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, विदाउट लॉर्ड्स मर्सी कुछ नहीं मिल सकता। सो वी हैव टू टेक शेल्टर। सर्वधर्मां परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणं व्रज, अहम त्वाम सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचा। भगवान कृष्ण क्लियरली बता रहे हैं अपने फाइनल इंस्ट्रक्शन में भगवद गीता में कि सरेंडर टू मी एंड आई विल डिलीवर यू ऑफ ऑल द रिएक्शंस। डू नॉट फियर, डू नॉट वरी। Hare Krishna. So before we start today's class, please join us for Jai Radha Madhav prayers. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. हरे कृष्णा डियर डिवोटीज, आप सबका स्वागत है, आप सबका अभिनंदन है. लेट मी वेलकम सम ऑफ द व्यूअर्स. अमिताभ घोष, हरे कृष्णा. हरे कृष्णा. किरोंचन सिताम पलम जी, हरे कृष्णा. सदीक्षा माता जी, हरे कृष्णा. हर्षवर्धन सोनी, हरे कृष्णा. दास कृष्ण बबलू, हरे कृष्णा. वरुण छाबरा प्रभु, हरे कृष्णा. नीरुधल माता जी, हरे कृष्णा. सीमा चांदना माता जी, हरे कृष्णा. नरभद्र पोखरेल जी, हरे कृष्णा. करुणा सिंधु प्रभु जी, and Hare Krishna to many other devotees who have joined us in today's session. You're welcome. So please join us today in this class. Today we'll be covering Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 19. The topic of the chapter is King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. And of course, people want to relate to the current times, this Kali Yuga, and Bhakti, the devotional service. So again, and Srila Prabhupada called Bhakti as devotional service because it is an active engagement. So we have to look at how can we engage actively in this current times. And before we get started, I also want to wish all the viewers happy Choti Diwali. Again, Narak Chaudas is the day today. And Diwali is a 5-day event which actually started yesterday with Dhanteras. Right? Dhanvantari is Lord Dhanvantari's appearance. He's an incarnation of Lord Krishna, so Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna Devi.
Hare Krishna everyone. Hare Krishna dear viewers. We welcome you all to this Srimad Bhagavatam class. Prabhuji is going to give us very important lessons at the chapter level from this Canto 4 chapter 19 about how there are different misleading activities going on in Kali Yuga, yet taking to bhakti, taking to devotional service is the solution for everything. So Prabhuji, some new viewers have joined.
Yes.
We welcome everyone. Anjali Khanna, Gopal Chandra, Jai Prakash, Nang Arpita, Divyamani, Soumik, Sushmita, Milan, Arnab, Chandish, Sajib, Tutu. Hare Krishna everyone. So in the beginning Prabhuji is going to share the prayers for like we do every time in Srimad Bhagavatam class, and then let us all do Shravanam of important lessons.
Hare Krishna. So thank you Devi. Could you also share the link?
Yes Prabhuji, I will be sharing the link for the chapter so that everyone can read the first verse you are going to recite.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Please join us for Mangalacharan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiriyet. Shavatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtanaha Hridayantasto Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhatsatam Nashta Prayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhakti Nashtaki. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please join us in the recitation of the first verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 19, verse 1. मैत्रेय उवाच अतादीक्षत राजा तु हयमेधशतेन सह ब्रह्मावते मनोक्षेत्रे Yatra Prachi Saraswati. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidur, King Prithu initiated the performance of 100 horse sacrifices at the spot where the river Saraswati flows towards the east. This piece of land is known as Brahmavard and it was controlled by Swayambhuva Manu. There is no purport. Please join us for Guru Pranati. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshutarine Om Jnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tadaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So clearly understanding what's the setting of this scene, Maitreya Muni is revealing this wonderful pastime of Prithu Maharaj to Mahatma Vidur. And this same pastime is being, this conversation is being revealed by Shukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, who is fasting for 7 days on the bank of the Ganges. Yamuna river जब दिल्ली से क्रॉस करती है तो उसको गैंजेस भी रिफर किया जाता है क्योंकि संगम हो चुका है, उसके बाद में आ रही है. और Sutta Goswami, who was present in this gathering where Shukdev Goswami was speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, so he later on goes to Naimisharanya, and there he is speaking to thousands of sages who are gathered there, and their spokesperson is Shaunaka Rishi. And when we come to hear of Shaunaka Rishi, of course, we think of Satyavrata Muni, who reveals to Devashi Narad and Shaunaka Rishi the prayers which are also known as Damodarashtakam, which is sung every day during the month of Kartik. Actually, not just during the month of Kartik, it should be sung throughout the year because it reveals Lord's, causeless mercy and encourages us to engage in our endeavors. Again, that's the love that can bind the Lord as shown by Yashoda Mai. So again, this is a great example where we see that how Yashoda Mai, because of her love. Now there is a very interesting thing, the two finger shot theory. Again, as Acharyas reveal, they reveal our endeavor and then Lord's mercy. Yet at the same time, if you get a rope which is just exact, then there is no room for tying it, right? So Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad, they reveal various secrets behind it. Basically, what happens is, when you get the rope and it's short, so somebody asks you, you may be tying it, but then you're not able to put another knot, right? Or you may not be able to secure the knot well. So at that time, somebody could say it could be two, finger short. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur reveals that actually there are various aspects being revealed when it is said it's 2 fingers short. So again, yes, our endeavor and Lord's causeless mercy both are needed. And here, there are 16 potencies of Lord Krishna, they are at play. So 15 of them are on one side and Kripa Shakti is on another side. And all these, these Shaktis like Atma Ram Shakti, Atma Kam Shakti, and so many, Shaktis, they are like saying, if Lord is bound, who has no beginning, no end, then won't it be, they want to expand the glories of Lord. Won't it be the other direction when it's defaming that Lord could be captured? But yet at the same time, Kripa Shakti says, no, actually, he is being, conquered by the love of Mata Yashoda. And that would be glorious. So it's very interesting that this Damodar Leela, the effort of Yashoda Mai tying Lord Krishna started at sunrise. But it went past sunset. And Mother Yashoda was destined. And what did it occur? It occurred on the day of Diwali. Right? So that is another glory, is that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur reveals that this pastime occurred on the day of Diwali, and Yashoda Mai, even though she had thousands of maid servants, engage in household affairs. She took it on herself that she's going to bind Krishna because Lord Krishna is very naughty and he needs a time out. So again, one who says, I am time personified, the devourer of all things, he is being given a time out by Mother Yashoda, being tired. So let's start with today's chapter. So in this chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 19, the title is King Prithu's 100 Horse Sacrifices. And how do we relate it to Bhakti and Kali Yuga? Because the influence of Kali Yuga is very strong, right? प्रायेण अल्पायुष सभ्या कलावस्मिन युगे जना मंद सुमंद मत्यो मंद भाग्य प्रदुता. So यहाँ पे Shukdev Goswami is revealing that there are, what are the effects of this Kali age? How people will become more and more degraded. So the effects of this Kali age is prayena alpayu. Alpayu means people are short-lived. Our age is only up to 100 years, While in Dwapar Yuga, people could live up to 1,000 years. In Treta Yuga, they could live up to 10,000 years. And in Satyuga, people could live up to 100,000 years. So again, it's because of the lifestyle and the way we are continue to carry out, because of the influence of time, our age is less. आयु जो है अल्पायु है, short lived. And कलावस्मिन युगे जना. कलावस्मिन means people are quarrelsome. कलह होती है इसमें. So इस टाइम में आप देखिए, पड़ोसी से कलह करता है, भाई भाई से कलह करता है, यहाँ तक कि पिता पुत्र के भी रिलेशनशिप में कलह होती है. हम लोग ये देखते हैं. और सास बहू के कलह तो जगत विख्यात है, फेमस. एंड सबको रिजॉल्व करने का सिंपल एक सॉल्यूशन है. व्हाट इज दैट सॉल्यूशन? दैट वी ऑल टेक टू द चैंटिंग, कॉन्ग्रीगेशन चैंटिंग ऑफ द होली नेम. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. And Srila Haridas Thakur Namacharya, he reveals that even Namabha stage can give us liberation, can enable us to get out of this material world, a place of misery, dukkhalaya, right? That's the another way this material world is referred to as a place of misery. There is only misery. Whether you go to a heavenly planet or you go to hellish planets, you will face misery. And so many times in Srimad Bhagavatam we hear that Indra, he's so much feeling anxiety that someone is going to take his throne. And so he's always attacking that person and putting impediments. So even demigods put impediments on the path of a devotee or a path of a person who's trying to elevate themselves. Because again, this is the nature in this material world. Prayana alpayusha sabhya, short-lived. Kalavasmin yugejana, people are quarrelsome. Manda, so people are lazy in this time, right? Instead of looking at making an endeavor for self-improvement, they want to point fingers at others. So that is also, they don't know that they are causing janaprad. And anytime they try to point out someone else's mistake, they do not know that it is revealed in the scriptures that they acquire those qualities, bad qualities. And that is pushing, them in hellish conditions. So one should not point on others' fault, but rather seek to improve themselves. Say that, oh, such and such a stage, I should not make it verbal to the world, but rather internally understands that I could only identify something wrong in others if I have it in myself. So I should try to get rid of that bad quality. And that's why a devotee does not see any bad quality in others and continues to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet, yes, preachers and spiritual masters, they have to preach what is being given to the students, to the general populace, innocent public, so that people are not bewildered and a bona fide process is followed. And that is also one of the lessons in today's class. So here, let's get started. Manda Sumanda Mateo. Sumanda Mateo is less intelligent. So people in this age are less intelligent. So someone shows, they can produce ash from the air or some object from the air because of the siddhis. They get attracted and say, oh, this person is like God. And in India, every town and village you will find some God, So again, that is not a bona fide process. And Lord's incarnation, they are revealed in the scriptures. So we should understand with right perspective and not be bewildered by the looks, by the show, by the drama people put on, by the big crowd that's following them. Rather, we should look at the activities. Action speaks louder than words. So again, so actions speak louder than words means we should look at other person's actions to determine, to understand, is he following a bona fide process. Sadhu, Guru and Shastra, these three references should always be in line. Mandabhagya. And people are unlucky in this age, right? Mandabhagya people in Kali age are, unlucky because they have received, Kala Shudra Sambhava. Everyone is born Shudra. And there is very little education on spiritual advancement that is available. And that's why devotees go out to preach. And of course, Lord, He empowers them to be able to, enlighten people. But yet at the same time, when devotees say, please chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when we say chant, they say can't. We say chant, we say can't. So this constant, this is unlucky because they don't realize that they are becoming slave of their own senses. And Godas, that's another term for that. And they are pushing themselves into hellish conditions in Atmaha, the killer of the soul, as revealed in Sheesh Upanishad, which occurs in Yajurveda. So such a person who does not take to devotional service, does not surrender on the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, finally has to surrender at the moment of death. So Lord says, time I am devourer of all things. So Lord appears to such a person as death personified. And Srila Prabhupada gave a very nice example from the Shastra where, a cat may be holding a kitten in its mouth, and the kitten knows that mother cat will take good care of me, so it's not worried at all. It's peacefully resting, while a mouse in the mouth of a cat knows that the death is near. So yes, the same action but has a different impact on the recipient. So a devotee embraces death because they understand that after this life, I am going back home, back to Godhead. But a materialist, a person who's a karmi, who's engaged in sense gratification, is afraid of death, is fearful of death because they know that their next birth is undetermined and they may be facing hellish conditions. So again, we should be very, very careful. So we should, understand and not stay unlucky, but rather we should take to the chanting of the holy name and become lucky. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, if you can chant, you are very lucky, you are very fortunate. And Upadrutaha, and people are constantly disturbed. They are disturbed because there are three kinds of miseries, right? Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, and Adhyatmik. Adi Daivik is from natural disturbances, tsunamis, floods, volcano eruptions, so forth. Then Adi Bhautik is from other living entities. And Kalavas Minyukejana means again there is so much quarrelsome nature in this material world, and the envy nature in this conditioned life is there, so that also causes. But then Adhyatmik, the miseries produced by one's own mind, they are like 99.99% of the miseries that one has. One creates mountain out of a mole. Rai ka pahad bana dete hain. ऐसी condition है आज के समय. So we should be very, very careful not to, be disturbed. And to not be disturbed, we have to be peaceful. And now what's the formula to be peaceful? The formula is very simple. Bhoktaram yagatapsam sarvalok maheshwaram surhidam sarva bhutanam gyatva shantim rache. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, the last verse, 29th verse, Lord is giving the peace formula, which is Bhoktaram yagatapsam. So He is the beneficiary of all sacrifices. Not our senses, but the master of the senses, Lord Rishikesha, is the beneficiary of all the sacrifices. Then Sarvalok Maheshwaram. So He is the supreme proprietor of all material and spiritual universes. Everything that is there is owned by the Lord. Surhidam Sarva Bhutanam. And He's the best friend, He's the benefactor, He's the well-wisher of every living entity, not just yours or mine, but of all living entities, whether they be in the form of animals, aquatics, whatever embodied form they may have in this material world, they are very dear to the Lord, because Lord is residing in everyone's heart as super soul, as Paramatma. And then one who knows this, So idam sarva bhutanam. These three factors, gyatva mam shantim richasi. So again, one becomes very peaceful at heart. And when one is peaceful, then of course anxiety is gone. And to become fearless, this is a very simple formula. And why to stay just fearless? Because that's still a neutral ground. Like, on an axis, it's like a zero. Why don't go positive? And positive is simply when you take to the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because when we are engaged in devotional service, the 9 processes of devotional service as Prahlad Maharaj reveals, and then 2 of them are added by Shukdev Goswami in 11th canto, which is reading and writing. So these devotional service processes transcend us. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So Shravanam is hearing, Kirtanam is, chanting, glorifying, calling out to the Lordship, praying, and Smaranam. Smaranam is remembering, right? Pada Sevanam, serving the lotus feet of the Lordship. Archanam, which is, doing the deity worship. And that is the focus today. The 100 sacrifices that Prithu Maharaj is going to, execute, that is Archanam. So he got attained perfection by Archanam Vidhi, by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vandanam, Akrura attains perfection by singing praise to the Lordship. Dasyam, Hanumanji, Bajrang Bali, he attains perfection by just serving the Lord in that mood of servitude, carrying out all his orders. And Sakhyam. So again, Sakhyam is friendship. Arjuna attains perfection by being friend to the Lordship. Atma Nivedam. Atma Nivedam is sending everything for the pleasure of the Lordship. And Daityaraj, Bali Maharaj, he attains perfection by surrendering everything for the pleasure of the Lordship. So again, and then reading and writing is especially meant for these people in Kali age, because we cannot retain everything that we hear, unlike the people who were in the previous ages. So Vyasdev, he wrote these scriptures, the Vedas, the Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam and so forth, so that we, the Upanishads, so that we can read them and thus engage in devotional service and make our life perfect. Yet at the same time, it is knowledge, and when we execute them, that is realization. Knowledge only gives us the ability to merge into Brahman, but to be able to go into Golok Vrindavan, to Vaikuntha Dham, we have to engage in devotional service. That's why Srila Prabhupada did not just call it like, studying, but rather he said bhakti means devotional service is an active engagement where we get realization. So yes, when we chant out the holy name, that is also devotional service. It is the means and also the end. So here, it's evident from the revealed scriptures that Indra, even the king of the demigods, so people sometimes they wish they can go to heaven. Well, the king of the heavenly planets, Indra, he becomes envious several times for many persons, right? Many times he could not even tolerate them and he desired to break them up. So again, we also know about this pastime that happens during this Kartik time, which is, yes, the lifting of Govardhan hill. There, Lord Krishna, he said, he was just 7-year-old, he said to Nand Maharaj, why are we making all this arrangement? And Nand Maharaj revealed to him, we want to, every year Indra provides rain, so we worship him. We do a yajna to please Lord Indra. We offer various oblations in the fire, and of course when we make oblations in the fire, those mantras, they end with Swaha. And who's Swaha? Swaha is wife of Agni Dev. So again, it is to the mother that we give it to the father, and Agni Dev distributes it to whoever is the recipient of those oblations being offered in the fire. And yes, today it's very interesting that people are thinking, yes, Suryodaya se pehle agar hum snan कर लेते तो हमें नरक नहीं देखना पड़ेगा. Actually, the scriptures say सूर्य से पहले अगर हम ध्यान कर लेते हैं, right? If we meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. अब जब यज्ञ की बात होती है तो everybody just jumps into, okay, let's do fire sacrifice. But you have to understand what is the appropriate yajna for different ages, right? So even Indra, when in Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna was present, and this Indra Yajna was stopped by Lord Shri Krishna because he said, but Indra, that's his duty to provide rain. We should be actually worshipping Govardhan Parvat, because Govardhan hill is the one that is giving us all the necessities. And so he diverted everything, all the oblations and all the activities in worshipping Govardhan Parvat. And what happened? Indra became envious and he challenged, yet he was defeated, we all know. So again, people all who know the Govardhan, Leela, the Lord just lifted this Govardhan Parvat, and Govardhan Parvat opened up as an umbrella covering whole of Braj Bhumi. And Indra, even though he had sent some Smartaka clouds to destroy the whole Braj Bhumi, he could not do anything. For 7 days, 7 nights, Lord was holding that Parvat, right? This Govardhan Parvat, which had expanded just with the touch of Lord Shri Krishna. So Govardhan Parvat is also said to be the best devotee of Lord Krishna, yet at the same time non-different from him as his expansion. So that's also something very important to understand. And after 7 days, 7 nights, when Indra realized that this 7-year-old boy is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he understood his mistake and he worshipped the Lordship. So yes, if you commit a mistake, you should always seek to correct it. That's an important lesson that we here learn from Indra. Now in this, in the purpose, Srila Prabhupada is revealing that in this current times, in this, Kali age, people are envious by nature. It's very easy to become envious, and that is a sign of conditioned life. There are 4 defects in conditioned life. Our senses are imperfect, so what we see is not sometimes what it is actually. And we have many examples, right? People go to 3D movies, but they know that whatever is shown is on the 2D screen, so they cannot be 3D. But it's a illusion. So this propensity to be deluded is also there. That's the second defect. Then propensity to cheat. People, they cheat themselves by saying, let's follow this process versus that process versus that process, without realizing which one is the bona fide process. And fourth, last but not the least, is human is error. People have the tendency to make mistakes. So this conditioned life causes people to become envious. And when we engage in devotional service, we become non-envious. So where envious is matsara, we add nir, without matsara. Without envy becomes nirmatsara. And devotees by nature, are nirmatsara because they engage in devotional service. Now once Srila Prabhupada, after his Srimad Bhagavatam class, one of his disciples said, Srila Prabhupada, whenever we are here, most of the time, we are Krishna conscious because we are hearing the glories, we are engaging in devotional service. Sometimes we go out and then we become conditioned. Srila Prabhupada actually corrected him by saying that most of the time we are conditioned. Only when we engage in devotional service, we are, transcendental to the 3 modes and not conditioned. So again, that's the moment where we are nirmatsara. Yet at the same time, I have seen people, right, who could be, far for Dham, but meditating on the Supreme Lord, worshipping Him in the heart of hearts, engaging in devotional service. All their activities, the prescribed duties aligned with their dharma, jivera sarupoya Krishna nityadas. They may be engaging in devotional service. While I have also seen people who could be present in temple and fighting with each other, right? At least, sometimes even thinking bad in the mind is also an offense. And sometimes people have this wrong notion that if you just think in your mind, then you don't get reaction. Actually, you do get reaction. There are 3 ways Shastras reveal that the actions are performed: mind, body, and words. So even if you think bad of someone, it is an offense, right? Even if the person is an ignorant person, or even if envious person, that is a janaprad. So we should try to maintain discipline without, we should try to fix the behavior as, shown by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so there, Jagai and Madhai, they were not killed by the Lordship, but rather their behavior was corrected, their mindset was corrected, and they were made into devotees, and they perfected their life. So again, that is the example in this Kali age. People sometimes have this tendency, this person is bad. They try to put the tag on the person instead of the behavior. We should look at the behavior that is bad and try to get rid of the behavior. We should be, again try to correct the sickness, not the sick. Not to destroy the sick, but to destroy the sickness, right? That is also a very important aspect. So, eh, people are envious in nature, and not just in hellish planets or earthly planets, but even heavenly planets, where we see that even Indra becomes envious several times. Then there is spiritual envy is also there, where that envy is actually appreciative of other person. So at spiritual platform, one does not become envious and negative, but rather says, oh, this person is performing the service so wonderfully, I should try to improve my service. In material world, the envy is, oh, this person has done so much, if it's in my power, Sam Dam done the bait, I will try to remove this person from that position and acquire that position. Why? Because in this conditioned state, one is thinking of I and mine. I causes envy, right? Because it relates to this body, which is saying, I am white, I am black, I am Indian, I am American, I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim, I am a Christian. So all these I causes envy and creates so many communal wars. More wars in the history have been fought in the name of religion than any other cause. So we should be very, very careful when we're thinking of I, because it causes envy. And mine means lusty desires. People want to enjoy their sense gratification. They want to acquire more and more. And a demonic thinking is that, first is envious, that I have destroyed all my enemies. I am the Lord of all that pervade, and I will always prevail in this way. So this is Hiranyakashipu is their guru in this particular case, the role model. While in lusty desires, they are saying that my wealth is growing and it will grow tomorrow again, and I will acquire more and more that is there. And they spend their time just trying to collect Lakshmi without realizing that actually Lakshmi is only happy when she is, pressing the feet of Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu. She wants to serve Lord Vishnu, she wants to serve Lord Krishna. So this is very important for us to understand. So Prithu Maharaj, why is he performing 100 sacrifices when he is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Srila Prabhupada reveals, the Acharyas reveal that actually Prithu Maharaj was a Shaktavesh avatar, an empowered incarnation. So when his identity is concerned, he is also a living entity, a Jiva Tattva. So as a living entity, Jivera Surupa Krishnera Nityadas. So his duty as Dharma is a constitutional position, right? So that is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishnera Nityadas. So he is worshipping the Lordship through these 100 sacrifices to please the Lordship. Previously we heard that how he collected all the grains and all the fruits and vegetables by, milking Mother Earth, who was in the form of a cow, and Swayambhuva Manu was the calf. And here, as he's getting all this, they have to be offered back to the demigods. And rather, if you if you water the root of the tree, then all the branches, all the twigs, all the leaves are automatically nourished. So he is worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And from that perspective, he is watering the root of the tree. Now come back to the yajna. So what is the suitable yajna for different age? Right? Krite tadadhyayate vishrum tretayam yajto make dvapare paricharyayam kala tadhari kirtanam. Krite tada, in Satyuga, dhyayate vishnu. One could attain perfection simply by meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then, Tretayam yajatomake. So what happened was the 4 legs of dharma, austerity went away. So people could not do meditation, and plus you had to meditate for tens of thousands of years. Prachetas, the 10 brothers, meditated together underwater for 10,000 years, and then they received the blessings of the Lordship. Vishwamitra meditated for 60,000 years, and even then he fell down because of Medika, and Shakuntala was born. So again, we have to be very, very careful what kind of meditation we could be performing. Hiranyakashipu attained so much power by meditation in that age, but what did he use for? For sense gratification, lusty desire. And so he was killed by Lord who appeared in the form of Narasimhadev. So we should be very, very careful what we desire, because we might get it and may not be favorable for our spiritual advancement. So we should be properly aligned with the scriptures' bona fide processes. So people could, in today's time, we only have life of 100 years. We can't meditate for tens of thousands of years. So then comes Tretayam Yajatomukhe. In Treta Yuga, cleanliness was still there, right? So the cleanliness was there, so the 3 legs of dharma were there. Austerity wasn't there, but cleanliness, mercy and truthfulness, these 3 legs were still there. So with these, cleanliness enabled, the fire sacrifices where the oblations could be put in fire for the demigods where they would be distributed. And this is the time when Prithu Maharaj is performing the fire sacrifices near the bank of Saraswati, and the Kshetra is being, commanded by Swayambhuva Manu. He is the Manu, means we are Manav, Manushya. So we are the descendants of Manu, Swayambhuva Manu. So here, and the current times, it is Vavaswata Manu. Previously, there was Chakshusha Manu, and prior to him, the first Manu in the day of Brahma was Swayambhuva Manu. Now, Saraswati, people say Saraswati is not seen, but it has been scientifically proven that Saraswati, as also revealed in Vishnu Puran, the Saraswati, all the rivers, they said that in Kali age, they will become polluted with people so living such a sinful life. So, Lord at that time, assured, don't worry, all the rivers would go under the land. So, they will flow underground. And we see that Saraswati comes out as Sargam, right, where Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati, so she is coming out from under the ground, and that's where Prayag is the place where all the three rivers meet. So yes, so Saraswati flows towards east under the land, under the surface of the land, and then she merges with Yamuna and Ganga at Prayag. And so similarly, all other rivers will go underwater except for Ganges. Now Ganges said, when my dear Lordship, I will become so polluted, what will happen to me? Lord said, don't worry, there will be devotees coming, right? Following the parampara system, following the regulative principles from all over the world. And these devotees, when they will take bath in you, they will purify you. While all the non-devotees and demons, when they take bath in you, they pollute your water with all the sins that they have acquired while living. But you get purified when devotees take bath in you. So again, devotees, they are such tirthas, they are such pilgrimages that they purify the pilgrimages. Again, Ganges is one of the, purifying river. Nimnaga Nam Yatha Ganga. Right? So of all the rivers, the topmost is Ganges. So here, continuing on this chapter, so we established that, okay, in Treta Yuga, these sacrifices must be performed. Dwapare Parichayam. Now, what's the yajna for Dwapare? Dwapare Parichayam means serving the lotus feet of the Lordship, going on pilgrimage. So again, Balramji, he went on pilgrimage. Mahatma Vidur, he is on pilgrimage where he meets Maitreya Muni after meeting and getting, identified by Uddhav that Maitreya Muni has also received the knowledge from Lord Shri Krishna. He takes shelter of Maitreya Muni and becomes his disciple. And Maitreya Muni is revealing this pastime of Prithu Maharaj performing 100 horse sacrifices to Mahatma Vidur. So again, Prithu Maharaj is a Shaktavi Shabda, a Jeev Tattva who has been empowered. Now what kind of power he has been given by the Lordship? He is the ruling power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And similarly, it is revealed in the Shastras that Lord Buddha, he is also a Jeev Tattva. So again, and he was empowered to deride the Vedas. Why did he deride the Vedas? Because in this Kali age, people are less intelligent. We talked about this. So Mandamatya, right? And Mandbhag, and they are unlucky by nature and they are constantly disturbed. So they took to these Vedas and they started executing various animal sacrifices to attain heavenly planets without understanding the purpose of the Vedas. What is the purpose of the Vedas? Lord Krishna reveals in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, 15th verse, a favorite verse of Srila Prabhupada. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarve rahameva vedyo vedanta kridveda videva chaham sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto. So Lord is revealing that I am residing in everyone's heart as Super Soul, as Paramatma. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cham. From me comes smriti, remembrance, jnanam, knowledge, and apohanam, forgetfulness. Vedescha sarve raham eva vedyo vedant krid veda videva chaham. He is saying that I am the purpose to be understood by Vedas. So if somebody knows that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has understood the purpose of the Vedas, the essence of the Vedas. But when you know this, that is still knowledge, enough to liberate you, provided you firmly believe it and engage your activities with this mindset. But we have to also engage in devotional service. That is proper surrender, right? The 6 limbs of surrender also we have discussed in the past. So, and he knows the Vedas and he is the compiler of the Vedas. So Srila Vyasadeva was his Shaktavish avatar for compiling the Vedas by revealing this for people in this Kali age. So that is also very important for us to understand. And now sometimes people are saying, oh, then there must be a personality who is empowered with devotion service. Yes, Devishi Narad is the personality who is empowered. He is a Shaktavish avatar and is empowered with Lord's devotion service, and because he has it, he can distribute it. Only when you have something, you can distribute it to others. If you don't have something, how can you distribute to others? So again, this is also very important, and that's why Srila Prabhupada says, and the process is very simple. It simply starts with the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord has revealed that Sarvadhamam Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Right? So, give up all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Now, what is surrender? How do you surrender? That is another question that is raised. Right? So, there are 6 limbs of surrender, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives some elaborate commentary on this. Anukulyasa sankalpa pratikulyasa varjanam rakshishati te vishvaso gopatitva varnam tatha atma nikshepa karpane shadvida shayanagati. So, anukulyasa sankalpa, engaging and accepting anything that is favorable for one's devotional service, favorable for serving and pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is devotional service. So that is, at least whatever is favorable, one accepts. And pratikulyasa varjanam, and reject what is unfavorable to one's devotional service. Anukulyasa sankalpa pratikulyasa varjanam rakshishyati te vishvaso. Vishwas, having firm faith, having firm conviction that Lord is our protector, He will protect us in all circumstances. Gopatitva varnam tata, and Lord is our guardian, He will maintain us. Atma Nikshepa Karpane. Atma Nikshepa means surrendering everything in service of the Lord. With mind, body and words, whatever we have, actually, what's the value of our things? Whatever we have received, it's nothing in front of what Lord has. So we are minuscule, He is unlimited. So if we offer everything in the service of the Lord, then that is true reciprocation. Karpane means in a humble mood. So with humility, we have to engage in all our activities. So here we understand that, Lord, He can nullify the reactions of all sins that one may have performed in the past if one fully surrenders and follows the 6 limbs of principle. Shadvida Shayanagati. So these are the 6 limbs of surrender. And so, in the 7th verse of this chapter, means again, it is identified that, Lord, He is so ready to engage in others, means enable us, His wealth to be available to others. He is ready to share whatever He has, provided we have the right attitude. We have a favorable attitude to please the Lordship, not to please our senses. So there is a word, dharma dugdha, which refers to kama dhenu. And what is Lord engaging in? In the spiritual world, in Golok Vrindavan, Surbhi Abhipalayantam, he is engaged in serving the Surbhi cows. So here, Parikshit, not Parikshit Maharaj, it is Prithu Maharaj. He is engaged in performing sacrifices one after another. And he is, as he is performing these sacrifices, so that is Treta Yuga. But what is the Kali Yuga sacrifice? Kalatad Hari Kirtanat. Congregational chanting of the holy name is the Kirtan, is the Yajna for this age. Hari Kirtan is the proper Yajna. So Yajna Sankirtana Prayah. So again in Srimad Bhagavatam it is recommended that in this age, Sankirtan Yajna is the Yajna that we should all engage. Also, Kalatad Hari Kirtanat. Srimad Bhagavatam also says that we should engage in Hari Kirtan, and here we are glorifying the Lordship when we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, when we are reading Bhagavad Gita, when we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita together in a congregation, that is also glorification. And also the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here, Lord is also providing all the necessities, and it is also said that when Prithu Maharaj, he milked the cow, then he attained all kind of grains. And there are four categories of grains, right? So the food can be in four of the categories. Now people say, but where in Bhagavad Gita anywhere a reference has been given? So in the 15th chapter, right before the Sarvasya Chaham verse, the 14th verse refers to this. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehumashita Pranapan Samayukta Pachamannam Chaturvidham. Chaturvidham. So the food stuff that can be consumed by the living entities by four processes. What are the four processes? First is charvya. Charvya means chewed. So there is food that we chew with our teeth. That's called charvya. Then there is lehya. Lehya means licked. Ice cream sticks, people lick on it, right? So that's another example. Kids love to lick. That's lehya. And then chushya. Chushya is like sucking. So again, when people suck on the food, that's called chushya. So the food stuff that is taken. And then peya, the food stuff that is drunk, like we drink water, right? So this is also could be mixed with various kind of interesting ingredients to make peya. So again, the food that is swallowed. And how is he saying? Pachamannam. So he is the pachamya. So he is the fire in our stomach. So he's not just sitting in our heart, he's also the fire in our stomach that consumes the anna that we take, and by these four methods. And Srila Prabhupada further, revealing that actually in this sacrifice, people are, Prithu Maharaj, he has invited demigods, and there Lord Vishnu himself was present. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva was present. So again, Lord Vishnu would appear. When demigods perform sacrifices, Lord Vishnu doesn't come in every sacrifice. But here in Prithu Maharaj, he is doing it with so much perfection, with so much surrender, with so much gratitude, that all the things that he has received, he has been able to provide to all the, not just the planet, the residents of his kingdom, not his citizens, but also all of the planet residents are able to get their suitable foodstuff from Mother Earth, that, Lord Vishnu would appear. So 99 of those have occurred. And now there is also interesting reference being given that from ocean, Shudras or poor men, they get fishes, to sustain themselves. But that is not people of higher class get. People of higher class, like the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas and the Brahmanas, they gather pearls, jewels, and corals. Actually, Brahmanas are engaged in always, patan. But it is Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they would gather pearls, jewels, and coral. And one, pearl would be more valuable than a whole bunch of fishes that, the Shudras would get. So, it is very important to understand that who is desiring what is very much based on their varna, based on their category, where do they belong. So again, only the Shudras are interested in eating fish, interested in eating flesh. Actually, further, some of them are below the Shudras, the Malecha category, that are engaged in meat eating and intoxication and illicit sex. So these are sinful activities. So we have to look at it from the right perspective. Now, what happened is, when the 100th Ashwamedh Yajna was being performed, Indra became envious. He said, wait a minute, I am known as Shatkratu, one who performed 100 yajnas, Ashwamedh yajnas. If he also performs, then he will take up my position. He became envious of Prithu Maharaj. So he became invisible. He came and he stole the horse. And thus he impeded the sacrifice. Now the great sage Atri was present on the sacrificial arena. He could see Indra. Even though Indra is Antardhyana, he is invisible, Atri Muni, he understood the whole condition. And he could also see that Indra is wearing, as he is taking this away, the horse away, he immediately informed son of Prithu Maharaj to go and get Indra, the horse from Indra. And so when son of Prithu Maharaj, he approached, he saw that actually the person is in a, Gehu Vastram, like sannyasi dress. He is like looking like a renunciate. So he said, he came back. He said, maybe it is not true. So, At that time, Atri Muni said, "No, no, 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 no. This is Indra, and you should." He became angry. He became angry and told him to kill Indra. So now he chased Indra. He could see Indra. Indra was surprised that nobody could see me, but this son of Prithu Maharaj, he can see me, and wherever I am going, he is following me. So again, but because this son did not kill Indra, Indra actually later on coronates him with the title Antardhan, because he could, still see one who is not visible. Antardhan also means one who can also become visible. So that's also one of the Shakti he had apparently. So here in this particular case, it was the second time Indra came, and this time he was again in Gehu Avastha, of a sannyasi with a danda with a skull on its, as a stalk at the top of the stalk. So Srila Prabhupada reveals, and the Acharyas reveal, that Indra is the spiritual master of all these different paramparas of non-bona fide, right? Succession he is creating, which is the cause of irreligion. Right? In the Vaishnava Tantra, Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Dev Tehe Samatveneva Visheshta Sapashandi Bhave Dhruvam. Although it is forbidden, there are many Pashandi. Pashandi means Pakhandi. We all understand, imitators, or they are non bona fide, who coin terms like Daridra Narayan and Swami Narayan, although not even such demigods and Brahma and Shiva can be equal to Narayan. So again, Indra was acting like a Pakhandi. So what happened was that when second time he did that, and again at this particular time, Atri Muni asked the son of Prithu Maharaj to get the horse back. He went, chased, and he was ready to shoot his arrow this time. So Indra became afraid. He became, he left the horse and he ran away. So at that time, the son of Prithu Maharaj, when he was able to bring back, at that time, what happened was Prithu Maharaj, he was ready to kill Indra. But then, seeing a very angry Maharaj Prithu, ready to kill, prepared to kill Indra, the Brahmanas, the priests on the sacrificial arena performing the 100 sacrifice, they requested him, "O great soul, do not kill him, for only sacrificial animals can be killed in a sacrifice." Such are the directions given by the bona fide scriptures, the Shastras. So again, Sadhu Guru and Shastra, that reference is coming. And then they say, but don't worry, he has already, in a fallen state, he has completely, by his actions, he has lost his strength. So by the power of our mantras, we shall cast him into the fire, because he is your enemy. So by becoming the well-wisher of Prithu Maharaj, they said, you don't do that, but we can do this by calling him and burning him in this sacrificial fire. So as they were about to make the oblation in the fire, Lord Brahma appeared, and he immediately stopped the priest. He said, do not let there be 99 sacrifices. Don't move in this direction. Let there only be 99 sacrificial performances for Maharaj Prithu. Lord Brahma, he concluded, and Srila Prabhupada in the purport reveals that the blessings of Lord Brahma, by his blessings, King Prithu would become more famous than King Indra, even though he had just successfully performed 99 sacrifices. And it is Prithu's determination to perform 100 sacrifices was indirectly to fulfill the blessings of Lord Brahma. So it was fulfilled by the blessings of Lord Brahma, and the purpose of the sacrifice is to please Lord Vishnu. So of course, one should not become envious. Prithu Maharaj was not envious of Indra. He wanted to discipline Indra. That's the reason this particular action was being performed. But Lord Brahma came and gave him the direction, right? As the Guru. So again, he gave him the direction that don't perform such action, and let your 99 sacrifices be fulfilled and satisfy you. So Lord Brahma said, my dear king, do not be agitated or anxious because your sacrifices have not been properly executed due to providential impediments. Kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thoughts. So Lord Brahma, he continued. He said, stop these performance of the sacrifices. Why? Because they are inducing Indra to introduce so many irreligious principles, right? And the purpose of Ashakta Vesh Avatar, incarnation of the Lordship, is to abolish this in religion, irreligious principles, and promote the religion. Right? Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chadushkritam dharma sansthapanathaye sambhavami yuge yuge. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that to protect the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, vinashaya chadushkritam. Dushkrit means again the demons. And to re-establish the principles of religion. But what was happening? The hunter sacrifice was becoming a cause of so many irreligious practices being introduced by Indra because he was afraid, he was envious. And so Lord Brahma, he asked Prithu Maharaj to stop the sacrifice because they are inducing Indra to introduce these irreligious principles, irreligious practices, irreligious aspects. So again, today's time, Srila Prabhupada in the purport writes that there are so many Babajis out there, so many people wearing, and doing non-bona fide practices. And they are going to further the worst regions of hell, and their followers are following them to those regions of hell. So we have to understand in this Kali Yuga, people are very unlucky when they become influenced by such Babajis, by their various mystic or various juggleries, and not realizing that they are actually preparing for hellish condition for themselves. These Babajis, for name, fame and glory, are driving the whole lot of population behind them, and their spiritual master is none other than Indra in this case. So we can understand from that perspective. So Srila Prabhupada says that a karmi must be very anxious because he wants to enjoy material pleasures for their fullest extent, and this is material disease. And to invent new and new practice is called Western disease. Srila Prabhupada would say that the Western, even his disciples, they would introduce new practices, right? And they would, not follow what he has taught as his practice. So that's the Western disease. While people trying to become envious, people trying to, acquire positions, people trying to acquire wealth around them for their sense gratification is a material disease. We should try to save ourselves from all these diseases, all these anarthas, because they lead to various kind of aparadhas, offenses, which lead to further introduction of avidya. So we have responsibility, and all of this can be simply rectified once we take to the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sometimes people say, but why should we, do this? Or why should we, why are people following Indra's promoted irreligious aspects? Then Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he reveals this. Yad yad acharati sheshtas tatta deve taro janaha sayat parmanam kurute lokas tadanu vartate. Yad yad acharati sheshtas. Sheshta means one who is recognized, one who is in a leadership position. Jaisa uska acharan hoga, right? The way he acts. Tatta deve taro jana. The general populace will just follow that. So again, that is, instead of following the instructions, the people have the tendency to imitate. This person has performed this action, I'll also perform this action. In current times in stock market, everyone is looking at, various other important people. Oh, they are investing in this stock, so we should also invest in this stock. Not realizing that actually you are missing out the major stock, which is Harinam Sankirtanam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because all of the wealth that you acquire in this world will stay here when you die. But this Harinam, Hari Kirtan will go along, purifying you, moving forward. So, in this Kali Yuga, one has to take to devotional service, one has to take to bhakti. So, again, and jo bhi pramanam kurute, whatever result one will show, the general populace will just follow. So we have to be very, very careful who we follow. And we should follow the three important evidences, the three aspects, sadhu, guru and shastra. And they should all be well aligned. So there are four sampradayas, right? Kumar Sampradaya, Shiva Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and Brahma Sampradaya. We are in ISKCON, we are in Brahma Sampradaya. And all Sampradayas are actually Vaishnavas, and all of them promote Krishna consciousness. This is very interesting. I was hearing some devotees discuss yesterday. They were saying, well, there are 4 Sampradayas. Our Sampradaya is Krishna conscious. Are the other Sampradayas also getting? Well, they are Sampradayas, right? They are bona fide disciplic succession, and all 4 Sampradayas, the origin head is Lord Krishna. So, of course, they are all Krishna conscious. So sometimes this tendency is, I am so maybe the other person is not so. That is also a sign of envy. So we should not be envious of others and rather give benefit of doubt. So here, sometimes people, they say, oh, but the Vedas talk about animal sacrifices and people were sacrificing animals. Even Prithu Maharaj was sacrificing horse. So again here, the horse would immediately doesn't have to suffer through multiple yonis, but the living entity would immediately get a rejuvenated body, right? And mostly in the form of man. So that was the test of the mantra. And a person who kills an animal, right, again, in the name of a sacrifice to goddess Kali, he has to speak a mantra in the ear of that animal that is being sacrificed. And that mantra is Mamsa Kladati iti Mamsaha. So that is, the person is saying, I am now eating the flesh of an animal who will someday in the future be eating my flesh. Is basically saying, I am going to kill you and I give you the right to kill myself. And when I take birth in this particular form. So they are actually deciding, because of the taste of the tongue, they are ready to take the yoni of that animal, and that animal would appear to kill them. So there is, sometimes people say, okay, in that case, when we kill the animals, we won't say the mantra. Well, in that case, also you are incurring sin, which will still be there. Then sometimes people say, what about the people who are eating vegetables? They are also not making an offering. Well, Srila Prabhupada says that we are not so much in pro-vegetarianism. We are in pro-Krishnatarianism, which is again, we only eat Krishna Prasad. And what does Lord Krishna says in the 3rd chapter, 13th verse? Yagya shishta shidasanto muchyante sarva kilvishe bhunjite te toham papa ye pachantatma karanat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sinful reactions because they eat food which is offered first for the sacrifice, for the lordship, offered to the lordship. Right? Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. Right? Papa. So again, bhujante te to agham papa. So agham papa means grievous sin. So they get all those sinful reactions when they perform these sins. So anything that we are eating, first of all, it should be offerable to the Lordship. Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam, right? So it should be favorable as Lord Krishna desires, not as what we desire, what our tongue desire. No, it should be as Lord Krishna desires. And what does Lord Krishna desire? He says very clearly in Bhagavad Gita, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhakta prayachati tah daham bhakta ushnitam Patam pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhakta prayachati tadaham bhakta upritam ashnami prayatatmanaham. So again, here Lord Krishna says that I will accept patra, leaf, pushpa, flower, phal, right, fruit, and toyam, little water. And if one offers me with love, with gratitude, with devotion, from that bhakta I will accept it. So there twice the word devotion is being used here. So when you offer these 4 elements, the 5th element is devotion. So all 5 elements have to be there. Without devotion, Lord will not accept the other 4 elements as well. So it should be very clearly accepted. And true freedom is obedience of authority, and that is glorious. Well, authority defines position time and again. That has always been seen in the history. Sometimes people in position say, we are authority. No, you are in a position. Your actions will tell us what authority you hold and how well are you carrying out. So glorious is the behavior, just like Prithu Maharaj, that he accepted the words of Lord Brahma and he stopped the 100 sacrifice. And yet he satisfied Lord Vishnu, because that is the purpose of sacrifice, and became more famous than King Indra, the king of the demigods and the ruler of the heavenly planets. So this is where this chapter ends, and the next chapter will continue. But understand the purpose that in this Kali age, Hare Naam, Hare Naam eva kevalam, kala nashteva, nashteva, nashteva gatiranyatha. Chanting of the holy name has been stressed thrice, for the stress, called out thrice. Chanting of the holy name is the only means to ward away the effect of this Kali age. And this is the Kartik month where there is great sale going on. So for one round of chanting, you get the blessings of 1,000 rounds of chanting. So again, and if you are doing congregation chanting, you can add as many zeros as other people are there. Of course, don't count yourself. Then if you are with one person, then that's 10 times. If you are with another person, that's 100 times. If there are 100 people, then you can say to the power, the 100 zeros behind it, so you can understand. Such is the potency in this time. So please take to the chanting of the holy name and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is where the fourth canto, 19th chapter ends here. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhagavad ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra ki jai, Nitai Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Om Tat Sat.